welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Roxanne, the Tiny Taster, and today's recipe is fantastic chicken tenders. This is a great recipe. It is fried chicken strips. It's crispy and delicious, similar to what you would get at say KFC or any of these fast food joints, but far healthier because you're making this at home with fresh, clean ingredients. As always, please don't forget to check the link in the description box. It will have the detailed recipe in the blog post with all the ingredients and measurements and everything that you need, like I do for all my videos. If you like this video and this recipe, as always, please don't be shy and give it a big fat like. Just hit the like button, share this with all your friends, leave me a comment. I love to know what you think, and of course subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. So many fab recipes, travel videos, and a lot more coming up as well. So without any further ado, let's get cooking. For this recipe, I've used boneless chicken. I've used boneless chicken breast pieces, which I've just cut into strips. They're about 2 inches thick, not too thin, not too thick, perfect for a nice chicken tender. So we're going to season our chicken strips. I've used red chili powder or paprika powder, anything that has a little hit of spice, some pepper, and of course some salt for seasoning. And then just mix this all together so that it coats the chicken well and it's completely covered in all these spices. Next, we're going to make a nice thick paste for our chicken. So I've used about 1 cup of all-purpose flour. You can also use corn flour, but just regular flour is fine. To that, I add in 1 egg, and then I'm going to season this with a little bit of black pepper, some salt, some red chili powder or paprika, again anything that has a little spice. I've also added a little bit of cumin for extra flavor, and then of course a little bit of water, and then I start mixing this thoroughly. Don't add all the water together, because if you add too much water then you might get a very runny paste. So as you keep mixing it and it forms lumps, just keep adding a little bit more water and thinning it out till you get a nice thick lump-free paste. I've taken a deeper dish, not a plate, so it's easier, and added about 2 cups of all-purpose flour. This is going to be part of our dredging and our breading. To this flour, I'm going to season it again with a little bit of red chili powder or paprika, some salt and pepper. You can add more seasonings. I've added a little bit of cumin to this as well. You could even add some garam masala if you want a little bit of kick. Entirely your choice. And then I just mix it through so that this breading also has a little bit of flavor. So now you've got all your elements and your dredging station is ready. So you will take a piece of your marinated chicken and dip it in this thick paste. If you notice the paste is nice and thick, it's not too runny, because if it was too runny then the flour won't stick to the batter. So just make sure that you coat this well in the batter, drain off any excess of the batter, and then dip it in your flour mixture. Cover it well, make sure that the chicken piece is completely coated in the flour, and you can press it down even. And then just drain off any excess flour and keep it on another plate. Keep doing this, repeat the process with all your chicken pieces. Make sure that it's dunked well in the paste, it's coated well, and then dunked again in the flour mixture and covered completely till you have all your chicken pieces ready. So there you have it. All your chicken pieces are completely ready in this flour mixture and they're ready to be fried. Whilst this is being prepared, you can also get your oil prepped and ready and get it nice and hot. I've used a shallow pan because I didn't have a very deep vessel, but ideally you would deep fry this in a vessel so that the chicken piece just completely sinks and fries in the oil completely. In this case, I'm frying it on one side at a time because just my pan is flat. You could do either, there's no right or wrong. This was just easier, and I also feel it's less oil, but ideally you would dunk this completely in oil and let it deep fry on both sides at the same time. So I've put in 1 strip, and then I can ideally fry 2, so I put in another strip as well, and then I just let one side cook for about say 3 to 5 minutes. As you keep making it batch wise, your oil will get hotter, so it might cook faster, but initially it might take some time. You want to wait till it crisps up a little and gets nice and golden brown. I even just keep spilling some oil on the top, just the pieces that haven't cooked, and swirl it about in the pan. You know, once it's cooked, you can see it's loosened from the pan, so it lifts nicely. And then after about 3 to 5 minutes, or when I think that they've cooked for a decent amount of time, I just very gently flip it on to the other side and let it cook again for another 5 minutes, and then completely drain this out and let it rest on a paper towel. So as you can see, since I'm frying it in a flat pan, the chicken tends to be a little bit flat. It's almost like the breading is flat on one side. It's sort of pressed down. It's not thick and fluffy as it would be if I was just letting it sink in a deeper vessel with more oil. But I don't mind this at all. It's still just as delicious. It's tasty, it's fresh, it's crunchy, it's just a different shape. The texture even remains the same, so it's not too bad. So just keep doing this till all your chicken pieces are fried, and then you want to serve this nice and hot. There you go. These are your chicken tenders. They are so delicious. They're juicy and soft inside and nice and crispy, crunchy outside. You can eat them as is, or you could even make this little honey chili oil sort of dip, not chili oil, but like chili sauce. I just put a little bit of sriracha or any hot sauce in and a little bit of honey, and then mixed it all together. So this works as a nice dipping sauce. Or you could just take a brush and brush this onto the hot chicken like a nice glaze, so you get like a hot chicken tender. You could do either. You could leave it plain, whatever you like. Have this with ketchup, have it as is. It's so crunchy and soft. It's delicious. I would recommend that you eat this hot and fresh. Don't wait for too long, or don't let it come to room temperature. It's just not as fun, but it's still delicious. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. This is far healthier than anything that you would get at KFC or sort of any of these fast food joints. You make it at home and you know how much oil, and you're using good ingredients, so definitely a better choice. I hope you enjoy this recipe. As always, I will see you guys very, very soon.